for the University of, so I'm just going to try and be able to do this. Sorry, just a second, just bear with me. Okay, so I'm Laila Sunsole and I work for the University of Hertfordshire. I'm responsible for East and Southern Africa. So if you are looking at joining us or beginning your journey for Hertfordshire, I will be involved at some point, if not throughout your journey, but our trusted team at Craydel will also take care of you. Okay, so hopefully I'll be able to play a short video for you.
Leila, we can't see your video.
Oh,
I mean, rather, we can't see the video or your screen.
okay, hold on.
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
That's why is it working? Okay, hold on. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, you can see your screen now.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, so, all right, I'll try that again. Okay, can you see it moving through? And I'm about to play the video. If you can just let me know whether you can see it or not.
Sure.
Why is it stopped? Oh, no. Oh, what's happening here? Oh, okay, for some reason it keeps stopping at the same points. I will try and share it so that Craydel can share it on their website, but I will just keep going for the sake of time. So that was a short video just showing you what the university looks like. So we are the University of Hertfordshire and we're based in the southeast of England and we are 25 minutes from London. So on the screen right now, I have a map just to kind of demonstrate where we are. So everyone, I guess, kind of knows where London is, and which is 25 minutes north of London. We're in a town called Hatfield, and Hatfield is a small town, so you're not getting the big city living, but at least you're still accessible to London. So I always like to say to people that you get the London life without the London bills, because if anyone has been to London, they're very aware that it can be quite expensive to live in the capital. Okay. So like I mentioned, it's 25 minutes and you get all the access to London. So we're surrounded by major airports, which makes travel from Kenya quite easy. So you can fly out of JKIA into any of the airports that are surrounding the university. And the closest one being Gatwick, the closest one being Heathrow, which is about 40 minutes, if not less, using Uber or taxi. Okay. All right. We are a campus university, so we have two campuses. Our main campus being the College Lane campus, and then our second campus being De Havilland. Because we offer over 300 programs across 9 different schools, we are spread out across 2 campuses. The 2 campuses are about a 2-kilometer walk apart from each other, so you can easily get between the campuses. Each campus is different. This is our other campus, which is the De Havilland campus. So just to go back, our main campus, College Lane, is where we have most of our health and social courses, computer science and engineering, science and life sciences, art and design. The international office is also on this campus, as well as some accommodation at the back. And then the next campus, which is De Havilland, mainly has our business courses, our psychology courses, law, and some of our sports science courses are on this campus as well. And in a similar setup, we also have accommodation. So our campuses tend to be quite self-contained, so you can find everything on campus, from a bank to a doctor's surgery to supermarket, mini supermarket. And behind, in the surrounding Hatfield area, of course, you have Hatfield Town Centre, where you can get the rest of the shops and the rest of the facilities that you might need as a student. Okay. As I mentioned, we have over 300 programs across 7 schools of study. I like to say that we have everything from business management to fine arts, but then we can give you nursing, as well as aerospace engineering to pharmaceutical sciences and law. And I will rush through the next part of this, the slideshow, because it really goes into depth about the 7 schools of study that we have. I will make sure I mention key points, but between myself and the team at Craydel, we would be able to find you a course that meets what you're looking for at Hertfordshire. Okay. Our main thing, which is why I really wanted to show you the video, is that we really focus on our facilities. So we like to teach our students in purpose-built facilities. So if you're studying engineering, if you saw from the part of the video that you got to watch, if you're studying engineering, for example, you'll have proper hands-on practical learning facilities. So if you're doing automotive engineering, which is what you saw one of the guys in the video doing, is that you'll have actual workshops and you'll be able to actually use hand-on training while you're doing that. If you're studying nursing, you have robotic patients, which the lecturers will be able to program so that they can test that you're actually learning the practical side of your program as well. Okay, so this is a few more pictures of our campus. On the left, we have part of our library on De Havilland. And on the right, we have the accommodation and sporting area on College Lane. Okay, I really cannot emphasize about the facilities enough. We're in the top 10 of universities in terms of universities that spend money on developing and building the best facilities for our students. So we really want you to have a practical training. So one of the days where we focus on the academics, we need you to be engineers that are in demand. So we train you how to do the job using the instrumentation that you are going to use when you study. If you come into sound engineering or music production or music industry management, you will have the recording studios. We promise you the facilities for each and every program that we teach on our campuses. Okay, so these are some of our science labs. 20 million pounds went into our science building. and we're constantly developing it. So this is all the latest instrumentation that you would use in your professional life as well. So as I mentioned, we have 7 schools of study. So that the first one that I'll talk about is our business school. Our highlights in the business school, our economics program is in the top 10 in the UK. So we're number 8 for any of our economics programs. But we also have a very high demand international business program and an MBA, as well as other business programs, as it says, over 50 courses. And the highlight of our business school is that you can combine a lot of these programs. So you don't just have to do accounting, you could do accounting and finance, or accounting and economics, or accounting and business administration. You don't just have to do event management, you could do event management and tourism, you could do event management and hospitality. So we allow you to get the full combination that you would have for you to go into the exact professional field that you would want to, with the exact qualifications that's required for the role that you are targeting. Like I mentioned, 8 for economics and in England, and we've been shortlisted as the best business school in the UK several times. The business schools that have beat us, because this comes out a lot, are Robert Gordon, I believe it is, has won twice, and each time they have beat us, but each time we come back and we keep trying to win that achievement. Okay. Like I mentioned, again, it's about facilities. And the one key thing that I'll mention about our Hertfordshire Business School is that we do a lot of community reach programs. So we have our Enterprise Hub on campus. The Enterprise Hub is unique to the University of Hertfordshire. There's only 8 universities in the entire UK that have Enterprise Hubs. And we would, in our Enterprise Hub, we give a lot of support for startup businesses and that sort of thing, which means that as a business student at the University of Hertfordshire, you'd be able to have that, again, hands-on experience to collaborate with leading businesses and businesses that are in startup mode as well. So you are learning hands-on while you are studying with us. This is one of my favorite schools, the School of Creative Arts. There's an entire section of the campus dedicated to creative arts. And in there we have everything. So from fashion design to animation to architecture, to photography, to screenwriting, to textile designs. So for those of you who just think kangas are just made, in fact, they're actually designed and someone takes time to create those designs that you see on our fabrics. We have won several awards for our animation programs, and right now we are ranked first nationally for our animation and games design. Our Hertfordshire creative arts programs are highly sought after, and it's also a very competitive school to get into. So I think the main thing that I'd like to highlight again is the facilities, but also that you will have your own space as a creative. If you're interested in these creative programs, I would really encourage you to speak to the team at Craydel, and I would be happy to have a one-on-one conversation with you to show you exactly how amazing our facilities are at Hertfordshire. This is a very popular school for Kenyans, particularly because of our nursing courses, but we also get several Kenyans come to join us on our radiotherapy and our diagnostic radiography courses. This is a highly competitive school, so you'll find that our nursing programs usually fill up by about March. We are not taking any more applications each year. At the moment, the program's applications are still open, so you are more than welcome to apply. Okay, and again, very highly ranked and very highly recognized nursing programs. Okay, and first, like I mentioned before, we have robotic patients, so they're actually AI patients that are simulated to be like humans, and the lecturers can program them to have high temperature or suddenly go into cardiac arrest or whatever it is, so that if you are learning in that facility, you have exact simulation of what it'll be like to have a patient. Okay. Then again, this is another popular school for Kenyans, is our law school. I love our law school. It is actually a dedicated building, and in there we have our own mock courtroom. Our courtroom is so well simulated that we actually have quite a few of our local TV shows come and record in our courtroom because it's that realistic. We have several law courses, the popular ones, of course, with Kenyan students being the LLB, but The unique thing about our LLB is that you can combine it. So you could do LLB straight, or you could do LLB commercial law, LLB criminal justice law, and LLB government and politics. So we literally give you the opportunity to go into the program at the exact combination that you want to again. Okay. All right. So like I mentioned, on the left is our actual courtroom, and it's simulated to look like an exact courtroom that the Crown uses. Okay, so I mentioned this about the enterprise zones in the UK. And as I mentioned, we have several life and medical science courses as well. So we separate these from the healthcare courses. So these are the ones who will be supporting our healthcare professionals. So they're nutritionists, optometrists, pharmacists, dermatologists, dietetics, a whole range of programs, up to 40 courses in this department. And in there, popular with Kenyan students is also our environmental sciences programs and our agriculture programs. Okay. So as I mentioned, a $50 million science building, and in there we have specialist labs. Our investment in our science building is also so that we conduct a significant amount of world-leading research. So we do a lot of research into pharmaceuticals. We also do a lot of research into health sciences, and also a lot of research in our environmental sciences as well. And our research has been ranked quite highly as well. Okay. This is our physics, engineering, and computer science department, also very popular with Kenyan students. Popular for our engineering courses, so our aerospace engineering, as well as our computer science engineering program. So in there we have cybersecurity, we have artificial intelligence and robotics, and software engineering, and mechanical engineering, and those are very high demand programs for Kenyan students. Okay. Like I mentioned, very practical learning. So if you're doing our automotive programs, you would go right into the motorsport design as well. So these are actual students, these are not models. So they get to have the practical training in our engineering labs as well. Okay, not so popular, but still quite significant is our humanities and our education as well. So for Kenyan students, we see quite a few Kenyan students come and join us for international relations. Some for the psychology, for education, and also for the sociology programs. Okay. Quite highly ranked, so still in the top 50 of universities. I know some people might think, well, top 50 is not something to sing home about, but when there's over 2,000 universities across the world, top 50 is a big number, and it's a great achievement. Okay. Right, so these are some of the numbers. Numbers are important always. So first for our media and creative, also first for animation, 8th for children's nursing, also 8th for economics, 11th for facilities spend. Mental health nursing is also up there in the top 20. And then we have general nursing, medical technology and bioengineering, and as well as product design. Our key feature, which we also like to use, in addition to giving you the practical training, we have a placement year available in both our undergraduate and postgraduate courses. That means that you can go off and have a year of work experience where you'll be able to gain that practical training again, but also professional training while you're working for a company that is partnered with the university or is linked to the university. All our courses are accredited, and that's important for the way the world is going right now. You may train in the UK, but end up going to live in Australia. It is important to know that your course is accredited and that accreditation will be recognized across the world. In emphasizing employability, so practical training placements, we have maintained a high number of regional links and partnerships to enable our students to go for further professional development. But it also means that a lot of our regional partners and the companies that we're partnered with come and recruit our students for opportunities after they've graduated. Okay. This is not just for the UK, it goes across the world. Okay. For Hertfordshire, it's about employability. So we want to make sure that you're a student who hasn't just had the academic experience, but also make sure that you get a job. While you're studying, and this is a popular course, you can work for 20 hours a week, so you could have a part-time job. But we also want to focus on the job that you will have after graduation. So this is something that I know I will get a lot of questions about, so I'm going to skip over the slide and let you guys address it during the question and answer session. We have over 30,000 students from the UK and around the world. I think every year we take about 30 Kenyan students. I know that may sound like a small number, but the 30,000 students also includes our online students. On campus, I would maybe put it about between 8 and 12,000. Our Kenyan student population, those are the ones that we're taking from Kenya, but we also have students that are Kenyan but have been born and raised in the UK or have lived in the UK all their lives, okay? We are about an amazing student experience. So everything is on campus, like I mentioned. So in there we have your, your accommodation, your learning areas, but also your social spaces. And also you can play sports or you can be involved in any clubs or societies. We have over 100 clubs and societies. Those cover everything from our East African Student Society right through to a baking society. There's Taekwondo, there's Latin dance, there's so many different types of societies, and that really enriches your experiences as students. Okay, this is one that I would like to highlight. You can reach them on their Instagram page. So the East African Student Society meets up regularly during the semester. They give each other support. So it's not just for students from Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. They're open to all nationalities and they educate all nationalities about East Africa. They also celebrate East African culture and East African public holidays. So they meet up and they have choma and they have ugali and they have a great time. Like I mentioned, there's on-campus accommodation on both of our campuses, and we really do encourage our students to live on campus. It just makes your life easier. You won't have to rush to get a bus or anything. Everything is literally within walking distance from your campus accommodation. Okay, like I mentioned, so everything is on campus, our common rooms, we have social areas, we have restaurants, we have a nightclub on campus as well. So you'll be able to have everything all in one space. For the students who enjoy playing sports, you can play for the university, but you can also play socially. And we have everything from basketball to trampolining. I recently discovered that trampolining is a sport. I wasn't aware of that. And we have over 28 sports clubs on campus. So like I mentioned, everything that you can imagine. Soccer to baseball to basketball to swimming to hockey to tennis to anything you can pretty much imagine. Right, so I think the main thing here, sorry, there seems to be an error on the slide. Please ignore the bottom part of the slide. The Craydel team is very well versed on what our entry requirements are. For Kenya, we accept the KCSE. We'll accept your KCSE as long as your mean grade was a B+. If you got a B+, you can join our first year programs directly into first year. So that's quite unique for UK universities. Some universities will require you to do a foundation, but at Hertfordshire, we recognize the KCSE, and if you've got a B+, we'll take you directly onto our first year programs. We also accept the A-level and the IB, and A-level and IB students. We use the normal UCAS carrots for you to gain entry. For postgraduate, we expect you to have completed your bachelor's with honors. So in Kenya, that tends to be a 4-year program, and then you can come and join us. Okay. Our tuition fees are highly competitive. So our standard program fees are £14,750 for undergraduate students, and for postgraduate students, £15,450. I would like to emphasize that we say standard. So there are some courses that are not standard. So some of our healthcare science courses that require lab time or specialist labs, those courses tend to be priced a bit higher, around the 16,000 mark, and at postgraduate around the 17,000 mark. Of course, this is everyone's favorite question. So we have scholarships up to £4,000, but I would like to discuss a bit more about the scholarships. At undergraduate, you can get a scholarship of up to £1,500. And and then undergraduate who has received extremely high grades for their undergrad, for their high school studies. Sorry. Okay, so like I mentioned, we have our triannual scholarship, and then we also run several discounts that we run throughout the year. You can ask the Craydel team, or you can ask myself for further details. Right, so we've got on this page our applying to Hertfordshire journey. It starts with Craydel, and then they will help you submit your application. They will follow up, then they will liaise with us if there's any additional documents that we need. The Craydel team is extremely thorough. Most of the time, they can get their offer letters without hiccup because they have submitted everything that we require. Okay. And that is University of Hertfordshire. So I will try and go back to the video and see if we can play that. So don't mind me while I scroll back quickly, just to try and have something play in the background. I will mute it so that it's not playing sound, but if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask me right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Leila.
Thank you, Tina.
Yeah, so I think maybe you can proceed with the video as we look at the chat box if we have any questions for you.
Okay.
So if you have any question regarding UK, University of Hertfordshire, please feel free to drop your question. I can see there's one that just popped up. Do you offer foundation at Hertfordshire?
Yes, we do. So we have a partner college called Hertfordshire International College. It's actually on our campus. So it's in the middle of College Lane campus, and we offer a foundation program. So anyone who got below the B+ for their KCSE or didn't get the UCAS tariff for their A-level or IB, they can do a foundation program. Unique at also Hertfordshire International College is we also offer the International Year 1. So you may not have completely done so badly. You may still qualify for International Year 1. The difference between International Year 1 and foundation is that if you do foundation, it will be foundation, then first year, second year, and third year. If you do International Year 1, it will be International Year 1, then second year, then third year. So it won't be an additional year. Okay. Keep stopping at the same place.
Great. So there is a question here. So she said if you have a B+ and below, you can't study there. Please respond to that.
The minimum is B+. So we're looking for B+ and above. Anything lower than a B+, we would have to put you through our foundation or International Year 1.
Great. What is the minimum required in the Hertfordshire School of Nursing?
Okay, so for KCSE, minimum B+, and for A-level, we're looking at a minimum of BBC for you to get into our nursing program. Unique to our nursing program is that we don't offer just nursing. We offer nursing, adult nursing, child nursing, learning disabilities nursing, and mental health nursing. So if you're coming to study nursing in the UK, you actually don't just do a general nursing. You do your specialized nursing from the beginning, and that's based on the way our national health system is designed.
Great. So what about the School of Architecture?
Okay, so architecture and in our art and design department, we have two architectural programs. The first one is interior architecture and design, and then we have architecture. So there's a difference. I know a lot of people mistake interior architecture and design to be interior decor. It is not. So interior architecture is becoming more important as we look at sustainability across the world. So we look at, can the building warm itself? Can it light itself sustainably? But it's also got to do with things like acoustics. It's got to do with things like basically you're focused more on the inside of the building, but it's not interior design, just to get that clear. You're not going to be looking at cushions and colors and fabrics. You're looking at the structural aspects of the inside of the building. And then we have architecture. So for both of these programs, minimum B plus at KCSE, and at A level for architecture, 3 Bs. For interior architecture, you could get away with a BCC. Both of these programs need a portfolio. In fact, all our art and design programs need a portfolio. And your portfolio, we have very detailed guidance on our website. But if you're looking at these programs, the Craydel counselors will also get in touch with me so I can give you additional guidance. The portfolio is very crucial to you entering the program. So even if you might not have all the results, if you've got a strong portfolio, you would still have a chance in some cases.
Great, thanks a lot, Leila. I think there are 2 more questions here and then we can be done. So what is the total cost for tuition plus accommodation for medicine, and how do I apply?
Okay, so we don't have any medical program, like we don't have the MDBS, so we don't teach medicine at the University of Hertfordshire. We do teach nursing, paramedics, midwifery, pharmacy, optometry, so dietetics, nutrition, but not MDBS as in medicine. But because I get this question a lot, I will first address medicine and then I'll let you know. So we don't teach medicine, but there's several universities, several of them work with Craydel. Kina, I hope you'll excuse me, I hope I'm not overstepping. There is University of Central Lancashire, there is Buckingham, there is Aston, there's Brunel. They all offer medical programs that are highly accessible to international students. Medicine in the UK will cost you £43,000 a year. That's the minimum tuition. And then you would be looking at about £9,200 in addition to maintain and cover your living expenses. So if you're looking at studying medicine in the UK, you need about £52,000. Like I mentioned, we have courses allied to medicine, so the nursing, the radiography, those sort of programs. And the price range for those programs is about £16,600 at the University of Hertfordshire. And you would need an additional £9,000 to cover your living expenses. So you're looking at about £25,000, £26,000 if you're looking at those courses that are allied to medicine.
All right. So does the aerospace engineering course require a foundation year if the student has above a B+ in KCSE?
If the student has a B+ and above, they do not need foundation. They come directly into year 1 of all our programs. So we would happily take you for aerospace engineering. And our aerospace engineering is aerospace engineering on its own, or you could do it with pilot studies, which means that you do all your ground school for your pilot license. You would also have aerospace engineering with aircraft technology. So we have several aerospace programs, up to 15, I believe it is, that are specifically within our aerospace field. Interestingly, just a fun fact, historically, the University of Hertfordshire was a college for aerospace engineers. So the de Havilland campus, which is the second campus that I named for you, was the college that used to teach aerospace engineers for the de Havilland Aircraft Company. So a lot, I guess in this generation, we may not know, but before Boeing, the first passenger jet engine was designed by the de Havilland Aircraft Company. And those aerospace engineers were trained at our facility. So aerospace engineering is one of our flagship courses. If you're really looking to study aerospace engineering, I would not look anywhere else. I would literally be choosing the University of Hertfordshire.
Great. So there are quite a number of questions on scholarships. Maybe you can just clarify on that. So they're asking about partial and full scholarships. So I think maybe that needs to be addressed again, if you don't mind, Leila, just one more time regarding the scholarships, because around 4 or 5 questions are regarding scholarships, partial or full. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to speak firstly from a UK in general point of view. In the UK, universities generally don't give full scholarships. I'm just going to put that out there. So universities in the UK give partial scholarships, and they operate as a tuition fee discount. So if you did the calculations across all the unis, you would find that most of the time that partial discount would be up to about 30% and usually doesn't exceed 30%. At the University of Hertfordshire, we have several types of scholarships. So we can give you a one-stop scholarship for first year or for your postgraduate year. And it would be anything from £1,000 to £4,000. Our scholarships are based on merit. So we look at your academic achievements to date. We don't require a separate application. So if you're looking at getting that £4,000, if you're a postgraduate student, you'd need to be a first-class degree holder. If you are looking at it as an undergraduate student, you'd need to be KCSE and you presented your KCSE certificate with all A's. But for undergraduate students, I'd really more encourage you to take the triannual scholarship. So that can be anything from £1,000 to £1,500, and it would be removed from your tuition fee for the entire 3 years of your study. So for year one, we would deduct £1,000 or £1,500, depending on which triannual you got. Like I mentioned, it's based on your merit. So if you've got high grades, it can be slightly higher. And it would be deducted for each year. So first year, second year, third year, until you graduate. Of course, there's certain terms and conditions, but we would make that clear to you from the beginning so you understand how to maintain your scholarship. Scholarships are just, they will always be a tuition fee deduction. Unfortunately, I know some people might want to ask about sports scholarships. In the UK, again, that's not really a big thing. And you can't have double scholarships. So you couldn't have, say, a sports scholarship and an academic scholarship. Most UK universities will ask you to choose between which scholarship that you're going to have. You can't have two at the same time. And you would find that if you're looking at a sports scholarship, it tends to be a lot less than the academic scholarship. So example, we have a sports scholarship, but I believe it's about £800. It's not significant in the way our academic scholarships are.
Great, thank you so much, Leila. So one last question. I don't know, maybe the one who's asking this question is not aware that you've already mentioned this. So they're still asking about medicine.
Okay, so, okay, I'll run it through again. So we don't offer medicine. We offer programs that are related to medicine. So nursing, midwifery, paramedics, radiography, radiotherapy and oncology, pharmacy, optometry, nutrition, dietetics, biomedical sciences. So things that are supportive to doctors, but we don't have any training for you to become a doctor. So we don't offer the MBBS. There are several universities in the UK that allow you to study medicine, well, not allow you to study medicine, but are more open for international students. So University of Central Lancashire, also known as UCLan, Buckingham, Brunel, Aston, and yeah, just to mention a few that are more open for international students. It's very competitive to get into medicine in the UK. So you need to have, if you're an A-level student or A's, I'm not sure what those medical schools do for KCSE students, so I won't be able to comment on that. Studying medicine in the UK will cost you at least £43,000 a year. So if you're looking at the budget for a medical student, we're looking at about £52,000 to £55,000 a year for you to study medicine in the UK. I hope that covers everything. If you
Yes,
have any
it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much, Leila. Really appreciate it. Just a quick Q&A session. So for those who respond to the questions correctly, you will be able to win a prize. And this, of course, the prize will only go to the winner and the first runners-up. So I've sent a link to everyone on chat. Please try and log in so that now we can be able to go on with the Q&A session for about 2-3 minutes and see who is the winner. Have you been listening to what Leila has been talking about? Is anyone really intrigued by University of Hertfordshire? So please join in. I've sent the link. And yeah, wow. Okay, everyone is really fast. So I think in a minute we can start. Let me share my screen. Great, 25 players. I think we can start. So the faster you respond, the more points you get. Okay, and of course you'll be able to win some goodies, some prizes from Craydel if you do respond correctly. And if, of course, you are number 1, number 2 in the leaderboard at the end of the quiz. So let's start. Where is the University of Hertfordshire located? Leila actually started in her first few slides with this. It wasn't in her slide, but she mentioned it. So let's see if you've been listening in. Two, one, let's see. Time's up. Okay, so at least a good number of listening in. Let's see who won the first question. Who is on the leaderboard? Samantha, great, and Lillian. Wonderful, great. Good stuff, guys. So let's go to number 2. So the faster you respond, the more points you get. Can I join University of Hertfordshire directly with my KCSE certificate? Sorry, this is not the question for this. No, sorry, guys. This question is meant to be, what is the minimum or rather the maximum scholarship you can get at University of Hertfordshire? So please ignore this question. The question is, what is the minimum scholarship I can get from University of Hertfordshire? So you have 2 seconds. 1. Sorry, guys. Time's up. Yes, £4,000. Awesome. Let's see who's at the leaderboard. Samantha and Mark. Lillian, you went all the way to number 4, but keep it up. Let's move on to the next question. All right, so which of the following courses can you study at the University of Hertfordshire? So it can be 1, can be 2, can be all. Which of the following courses can you study at the University of Hertfordshire? Let's see who has been listening. In fact, questions have been asked about some of these courses or one of these courses. I don't know. Let's see. 3, 2, 1, time's up. Let's see. Aeronautical engineering, business, computer science. Awesome. Those 3 programs are available at University of Hertfordshire. Leila has mentioned severally that medicine is not offered at Hertfordshire, but she's mentioned certain pathways or other institutions where you can be able to proceed with this program. Great. Let's go to the next one. Sorry, leaderboard, of course. Let's see who's leading. Samantha, still at number 1. Great. And then we have Marie and Mark. Okay. Let's move on to the next. Second last question. What is the minimum KCSE grade for direct entry at the University of Hertfordshire? What is the minimum KCSE grade for direct entry at the University of Hertfordshire? Is it an A? Is it an A minus? Is it a B? Is it a B plus? This has been mentioned so many times during the presentation. I really hope everyone gets this right. Okay, let's see. Second last question. What is the answer? B plus, awesome. Those who said B, you are almost there, but not there yet. So who's still at the top? Samantha, okay, Samantha, Mark. Great, number 1, number 2. So final question. For those of you who've interacted with Craydel, we mention this a lot in our emails, in our conversations. So what is Craydel's tagline? What is Craydel's tagline? We mentioned this quite a number of times. If you've interacted with us on call, face-to-face at our office, during career talks, in activations in malls, we have this even, in our emails, I hope you do know what Craydell's tagline is, lest I don't know what we're doing. So let's see how many of you know Craydell's tagline. Yes, on your future. Perfect. Yes, international studies specialist. Yes, but that's not our tagline. Your university partner, of course, but not our tagline. Online transparent for you. I think we all know where this tagline comes from. Great. So let's see. Okay. Where has Samantha gone? I was rooting for her, female winner. But now let's see who's the winner overall. Mark, you really, really tried. I think you responded fast in the last question, and maybe we lost Samantha along the way. But Mark, please DM us your full names and your phone number. Marie as well. and you'll be directed on how you can get your prizes. So thank you so much, guys, for participating in this Q&A session. And before we all leave, now for those who are interested in getting to understand more information, or you need in-depth conversation with our counselors, please feel free to get in touch with us. And I would be sharing a Google form. I'm just sharing it now in the chat. Please fill that in and we will get back to you with more information with how you can apply. We make an application in advance if you have the grades, so that you can get that partial scholarship, and we see how to go about it. So yeah, the two winners, please DM us your full names and your phone number so that we can reach out to you and you can be able to pick your prizes from our office. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Leila, for being such a beautiful speaker. It was an awesome pleasure having you here with us. And we really, really appreciate you. We appreciate you representing University of Hertfordshire. You're doing such an amazing, amazing job. And to everyone else, thank you for joining in. We are glad you did. And I hope you've been able to get some information and you've been able to understand what it takes to study at University of Hertfordshire, what it takes to study in the UK, and the different programs. So if you want more information, please fill out the Google form, share your details with us, and we'll get back to you and have that one-on-one consultation, of course, at no cost. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Una Leila anaweka contact yake hapo, anatuharibia soko.